Ron Creech asks, where do we look about tire pressures? What is considered flat or a violation? Well, when it's flat, it's flat. But I want to also read a comment that Abdeluad Lazar put on there. He says, when it's less than 50% of the tire pressure, for example, if your tire is rated 110, it has to be more than 55 PSI upon inspection. Otherwise, it's a violation that puts the truck out of service. Hey, great job, man. He's exactly right. Where you're going to read it is not in FMCSA. You're going to read that in the out of service criteria. And whether it's talking about the steer axle tires or the other tires, you're going to read where it says tires have a noticeable leak in the tread area that can be heard or felt, or has 50% or less of the max inflation pressure marked on the tire sidewall. I've talked about this before in the videos. What you're going to do is go to your sidewall. You're going to see it marked at it's going to have a marking for a code pressure max inflation at either 120 PSI or 110 PSI or whatever. By what CVSA is telling us here is that in order for you to get a violation for being underinflated, if I put the stick to it at the time of DOT inspection, 50% or less is what would put you in violation, but it would actually also put you out of service. If the tire is flat, then the tire is flat. Flat tire is also straight out of service. So in those two conditions, you'd be out of service. However, though, if, like in his example where he talked about the 110 PSI, which is actually the exact scenario they explain in policy 15 that I've spoken to you guys about before, if I put the stick to it and it's only reading 80 PSI, then you don't have a violation, because it has to be 50% or less to be a violation. But when it is a violation at that 50% or less, that's when you're also out of service.